Hello and welcome to the NBA 2K podcast. I'm your host, Rib, and oh boy, NBA 2K25 pre-orders are up, and people are not happy because there's been no gameplay to look at except for a few in-game pictures of some players, and the NBA 2K subreddit is filled with lots of videos of content creators complaining, and a lot of people saying this is it, they're not buying NBA 2K no more. This was the last time, this was the last one. And I guess in this podcast, I'm just going to talk a little bit about that and a little bit about the history of NBA 2K releasing their pre-order pages and all of that as they do every year. So a lot of people are unhappy with the covers because the covers are easy Photoshop-like covers that somebody could probably copy with a reasonable amount of experience, and that in turn added to the anger from people complaining that the Hall of Fame edition is $150, and people got to spend even more money to upgrade their players overall. And there's a picture that shows you what each edition of NBA 2K has in terms of bonus content and virtual currency, my career content. And a lot of people are upset that, all of this that comes included in each copy, some have more stuff, some have less. People have to spend more money on top of all that. And it's a reoccurring thing every year. And what I want to say is NBA 2K, or I guess 2K the company, they're pretty consistent every year that this is how they do stuff every year. So it starts off with maybe a little teaser here and there. This year was the Tatum video with "Ball Over Everything," which is their new tagline for the year, not tied to Jason Tatum. It's tied to NBA 2K as a franchise, at least for this year. And that was the first teaser, and then we got the official covers that I uploaded at 7:15 because at 7 in the morning ESPN they collaborated or something. They had the first. They were the first to reveal official information. I'm not talking about leaks, but at 7:15, 2K social media and myself on Reddit, we uploaded all the goodies, and yeah, most people were, I think, unsurprisingly, not happy with the covers. I think, except for Vince Carter, people enjoy that one, which is unironically the more expensive one. I don't think that's done by mistake or by accident. I think making the more expensive cover the better looking one is a fine marketing strategy. And in talking about marketing strategies, I'm going to say that 2K's idea of releasing pre-orders and letting you know what each cover has, what each edition has when you buy it, before they even release any sort of gameplay video or gameplay information, dev blogs, any of that, it's also a marketing strategy. So right now, if you find any website where you can look at what game is the most pre-ordered for this month or something, if you go look at those pages, NBA 2K25 is going to be on there. Now, how is that possible, and why is that possible? Well, in one instance, NBA 2K has no competition right now in terms of NBA simulation games. We know that EA Live is still working on a new game. They have been for the last 5-6 years, with more information to come next year. I think that's what they've said. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is fear of missing out. A lot of people don't care to wait for content or whatever. Maybe they have aspirations to, play in tournaments or leagues or whatever the case may be, or they're just a basketball fanatic and they know they're going to get it, so they don't need to watch any gameplay footage because they know they're going to buy it. Whatever the reason may be, NBA 2K pre-orders are going out and they're doing pretty good. On top of that, NBA 2K is finally new gen on Steam and PC, and I promise you they're going to sell extremely well this year because of it. PC is going to be a big moneymaker this year. Every year, NBA 2K sells extremely well on Steam, but 2K25 is gonna break some record numbers. I would probably put a bet on it, simply on the fact that it's new gen. Even without an anti cheat, I think 2K will be doing just fine. On the computer side of things, on the console side of things, as I was saying, there's pre-orders going on right now. That's part of the marketing strategy, is to release the pre-orders before any content, and a bunch of people are going to buy them. And then when the gameplay comes out, what's going to happen is the people that are already pre-ordered are going to act excited and pumped, regardless if the footage is in any way like legitimately better or worse than last year. Because they don't want to seem like silly people that spend a bunch of money pre-ordering the game, and now they're like, you know what, actually I don't like the way this looks, now I gotta cancel my... They don't want to go through all of that. I'm sure a lot of people will, and they have their right to do that. Pre-order now. If you don't like it, cancel. That's fine. That's one set of people. But now what happens is, because pre-orders have been live and they're already making sales, people are buying the pre-orders. When the gameplay footage comes out, people are going to buy more pre-orders. So if they waited until the gameplay released to show the pre-order pages, they would be missing out on the people that are buying the pre-orders right now. I don't know if that makes sense. That's my interpretation of why they do this every year. This is not a new thing that they've done this year. I know people are complaining this year. People complain every year about different things. Complaining about pre-orders before seeing gameplay shouldn't be a thing this year, because this is how they've done this sort of thing. They've been doing this for a few years now. So this is the trend. Pre-orders up, and now maybe next week or the week after you'll see other things. And then maybe end of July, heading to August, or maybe even next week, you might see a roadmap that's going to, just like last year and the year before, that's going to show you everything that they have lined up to show the different modes, a possible community day, event, footage, whatnot, gameplay mechanics changes. Mike Wang, the head developer, at 2K, talking about it on Twitter or Reddit. So the whole roadmap from now on is, that they're going to be releasing little bits of things, of footage, of clips, of this, of that, of information, dev blogs, and all of that is just gonna ramp up the pre-orders, right? People are going to be complaining. People are always going to be complaining, because that's just what people do, regardless of community. And I understand that NBA 2K community might be a little bit more toxic than the average gaming community. But the numbers speak for themselves, right? People are complaining, but they're still buying. So with that in mind, this is how they do things. And from a marketing standpoint, I can't be upset about it. I understand it. People have the option to not buy the pre-order, to wait until the last day in September to buy the game. But like I said earlier, I think a lot of people do have a fear of missing out. A lot of people have friends that only play this game. A lot of people have been doing this for a long time. A lot of people are they're habituated to this trend every year. And the complaints are part of the trend, because the complaints don't actually mean that anything is different. It's all part of the cycle. Hey 2K community, are you a competitive player who likes money? Prove it on Gamer Saloon, the ultimate arena for NBA 2K players. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, Gamer Saloon lets you challenge players from around the world and win real cash prizes. So no more playing 1v1s to brag about it. Now you can get paid for winning. Gamer Saloon offers a seamless platform with various tournaments and head-to-head matches, perfect for every level of player. Listeners of the NBA 2K podcast can sign up today at gamersaloon.com/ribpodcast. All one word, gamersaloon.com/ribpodcast, link in the description. Okay, so with that said, I mean, I'm looking at the NBA 2K subreddit page right now, and it's the top posts are people complaining. There's a few little clips here and there. People posting a 2K16 clip. What do you think of the clip compared to today's gameplay? And people are like, did dribbling like this require more skill? It's like, do people forget that there was no stamina on your dribbles? Your character never got tired? I don't know if people understand that. The game, in my opinion, the game is the best it's ever been. Gameplay speaking, I'm not going to speak about microtransactions and other things, but personally, having built a center, having built multiple point guards, having built a lock type of build, this is one of the years that I think had the fewest changes into the game that also, to me, seemed the most fun throughout the year. Like, I'm still playing 2K right now in July and having lots of fun doing it. I enjoy shooting the ball. I enjoy the passing. I enjoy the dribbling. I just hope they improve on it. I hope there's not like a crazy amount of changes. I feel like every year people want things from old 2Ks, and 2K tries to introduce new things but also bring back old things and take out things that they just implemented 2 years ago, and then they'll re-implement it 3 years from now. It's all like it's a little too much, but I really like where we're at right now. I think pro play technology has been godsend. I think the amount of animations that we have, although I understand most people are at the highest level, the moves to do is the left, right, the LT, or L2, cancel, the behind the back. I get that those are like the primary moves, but there are a lot of actual combos in the game now. And I've seen people on social media use different combos. I try to use a little variation here and there. The game is actually progressing in a way where I think it's making everybody happy in a general sense, and I'll explain what I mean. So we know that the 2K developers, at least the people that have the most say in the game, they're what people like to call old heads, people that like the game to be as closely related to actual basketball. So that means you can bet that stamina is going to be here for forever. They're not removing stamina and bringing it back to 2K16. If they do that, I'll be completely shocked. Players should have stamina. I like the addition of the adrenaline bars. I think that's been in the game for 2 years now, 2-3 years. I hope they only improve on that. I think it's great that there's like limitations if you do a little too much. They're getting it to the point where it's pretty good, generally speaking. And it also has some room for the Pro-Am, the 2K League players to manipulate certain moves that a lot of people can't do. So I think it makes everybody happy in that sense. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, you can limit yourself to just 2 moves and people can say this is broken because I can do these 2 moves and make a bunch of shots. I get that. But there are actual viable options now. Like when I play Pro-Am, I don't see the same moves all the time. I don't. And I think that's a huge step up from even a year ago, 2 years ago, where that wasn't the case. Even with builds, there's a way bigger build variety, I think personally. And my hope with 2K25 is that they just expand on everything and improve the things that need improvement. And they don't re-add stuff that they don't need to re-add, and they don't remove stuff that they don't need to remove. Now, I am speaking kind of positively here. I'm hopeful for 2K25, and not because Ronnie said it's the best game since 2K16, because that's Ronnie's job. When people ask Ronnie, "Is this going to be the best 2K ever?" He's not going to say no. He, for even if he does, if he believes it or if he doesn't, Ronnie 2K, as his job, is going to hype up the next game. That's what he's there to do. He's going to tell you it's the best game ever. But I'm being hopeful because I can see where this game is going, and I like it a lot more than where it has been, even in recent years. I have to give props to the devs for that. They've been, you can tell that they've been working if you actually stop and think about it. But now I'm going to say what I don't like, and I think this is something that I don't know how their marketing analysis teams figure out how to make the most money without upsetting the most people. But I'm talking about microtransactions in the game. I'm talking about the normalization of spending between 50 to 100, 200 American dollars at the initial release with the brand new game that you already spent $60, $70 for. Not to mention the membership for you to play online in the console, which is another $60, $70 for the year. I've written ideas. I've put like wish lists of things like a respec option. And what I mean by a respec option is you make a build and you put the VC into it, but then let's say you want to change something because you don't like certain things or you want to try something else out. The game would give you the VC back to respec into a different attribute that you want in that same build. So you're not just respecing the build and then you could take your VC and make a new build, even though that'd be cool. I'm talking about, and this is something it's so simple because if you look at FIFA, you look at NHL, you look at other sports games, you can make your MyPLAYER for free. You go to clubs matches, Pro-Am equivalent, rec equivalent. You make your build by leveling up your character, which gives you skill points that you then put into your character. And you can respec at any time for free, and you have multiple build presets. The same amount of skill points that you get for one build, you can put into any other build. It doesn't spend the skill points. So when you level up, you go from level 1 to level 2, you get 2 skill points. You can put that into your point guard build, and you can also get 2 points for your shooting guard build. And even though you only play on your point guard, you can make other preset builds. You get what I'm saying here. So FIFA has mastered that, right? And I've played a lot of FIFA recently as well. And that's one thing that I think it stands out so much. NHL 24 was free for the month in PlayStation as well. And that's another thing. It stands out so much that you can make your player respec the entire build for free however you want. And it's not that these modes are like abandoned modes or modes people don't play. People play them a lot. In FIFA, clubs is huge. It's very big. The only way they make money in clubs they being EA, is with cosmetics. So accessories like different hairstyles, different beards, different shoes, different glasses, things that you can put on your player to, to make them look different. That's the only thing that people could buy if they choose to. However, you also do earn in-game money to buy these things yourself. So it's like, and then you look at 2K and it's, man, if there was some way, we know season passes are coming back in the game. The $10 Pro Pass, the $20 Hall of Fame Pass, those are coming back. If there was some way they could implement Respec, even if it's just, a little, hey, maybe you finish the season pass, you get a Respec point. If you buy the Pro Pass, you can get two Respec points or something. Something like that would change the game astronomically. It would be insane. People would play the game way more because they wouldn't feel bad for making a day one build that they think isn't as good anymore, and they have to spend more money or spend 50 hours playing offline just to get VC to level up their character. It would change the game. More people would play it. And I think overall they would probably make more money, especially if there was like multiple Respec points into Pro and Hall of Fame passes. Leave 1 or 2 into the free pass. I know that developers are probably not in charge of this in any way. I know someone else probably is, but oh my gosh, there has to be some sort of statistic where they can calculate if they added this into the game, would it not improve everything? It would improve reputation. The community would be happier. More people will be playing. I feel like more people will probably spend more money because of that option. They wouldn't be afraid to make all these builds and then like feel like they wasted VC like 2 months later when people find that actually you want this amount of strength and not actually this amount. It would be incredible. If there was some sort of Respec or a way, I guess, to make VC easier to get. But I think the Respec option is the way to go, personally. And kind of a long rant there, but I think it was informative and probably good for anybody that listens to the NBA 2K podcast. I hope you enjoyed all of that, and I think I'm going to call it a night here. I am recording this at night. This will be uploaded in the morning. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week, hopefully with some more news that I can talk about on the newest podcast. Take care.